he said in a couple of interviews, like, all we did was fight and fuck. And it's like, that's not true.
We see this level of excitement from you so many different times because of the good, right? So even to the point where he's like, hey, I want to put a baby you in me to, like, again, saying something like that means I'm committed to the process. I'm committed to everything, because putting a baby, that's serious. You know what I mean? Like, that's not just, talk to me about some of the good that maybe we didn't see.
You know, I feel like there were definitely moments off camera that I was getting that reassurance. I mean, we were definitely intimate, we were physically connected, and that's something that's been very hard, is everyone saying, girl, he's just not into you, he's just not attracted to you. And watching it back, I'm like, yeah, I would get that same sense as well. But living it, how confusing for me when I'm getting these nuggets of connection. We're intimate. I mean, he would come back from work, would be going to film. He'd be like, "Oh, you look beautiful, Madison." So it was never a question in my mind of if he was or wasn't attracted to me. And I'm also very much a big words of affirmation person, and so it's like I say this in my deleted scene where I'm like, I like the pretty words. So when people are seeing me be needy or clingy, it's like, no, that's just like my love language. And that was also like, I was giving a lot of that verbally. And so I was kind of wanting that reciprocated. And Joe was good at that at times. There were definitely moments that I felt like he was giving me the reassurance that I wanted. Other things that were good in our relationship, like, I think that we did have fun, like we did laugh, like we have very similar senses of humor. Unfortunately, this experiment lends itself to kind of putting your walls up in some ways, because it's so vulnerable that you don't get to really explore the fun as much with, well, I guess if somebody isn't as in it as you are, you know what I mean? But we really did have similar senses of humor. And, it's something I want to clear up too, because he said in a couple of interviews, like, all we did was fight and fuck. And it's like, that's not true. And to me, that feels kind of dismissive of me and our relationship and the experiment as a whole once again. But, there were good parts of the relationship, or I wouldn't have stayed in it.